Today is my birthday and I want to spend it doing what I love most, and that is going to a yarn shop. And tomorrow, because birthdays can't just be one day, I'm going to do something else that I love, which is watch the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, and I want to see whether I can knit an entire jumper in the time that it takes to watch Lord of the Rings, which is about 13 hours plus maybe some breaks. So this might be completely insane, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I have very little concept of time at all, and very little idea how long it takes me to knit anything that I knit. I could probably tell you like, oh, I could do that in a week, a month, couple of months, but I have no idea actually the solid hours that it takes me. I've also no idea if anyone's ever made a full jumper in just under 13 hours, but I don't want to look it up now because I'm gonna do it either way. I have decided on the yarn, but I don't know for sure that the yarn shop I'm going to today is gonna have it, so there may have to be a substitute, but it will be an Aran weight, which obviously if it was bulky weight, completely, yeah, sure, I'd be way more confident. Aran weight, especially as I don't want to necessarily compromise on the fabric, and I want it to be a solid fabric, so I'm not gonna size up my needles too much if I don't like how it looks. So this could be a real challenge. I should probably make sure I know my stretches that I'm gonna be doing between. That's not even a good one to do. I will look them up. And to make matters better, clearly, but maybe more difficult, my husband is making me 7 meals throughout the trilogy to eat. So there will be enforced breaks to eat those foods, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm going to do my swatches today after I've got the yarn. It's really nice and sunny out, so I'm fairly confident I can swatch and block and do that before tomorrow. And on top of that, I am self-drafting the pattern, which in some ways means that I can make it, you know, easier to complete, but also I kind of want it to be oversized and comfy slouchy. So once I've done the gauge swatch, I'm going to write up a pattern for myself so that I am not completely winging it all the way, like along the way. I'm so excited. This is literally my dream birthday. I don't know. Yeah, I also have a kitten chilling down here who will make an appearance, I'm sure. Right, let's go visit a yarn shop. This is the kitten. Hi. She's a sweet girl. Big morning, huh? Hello, I'm dressed. I've gone for comfortable yet hoppity. And I am currently, Aslan's gone out, currently changing onto a longer needle. We had a little bit of a pause because the cat's context, I got a new kitten a little over a week ago, and she is amazing. She's great. I love her. We have a cat called Aslan, and we're going through the sort of process of introducing them, and they accidentally got through the door. Aslan can open doors, and if you're not really vigilant, he gets through doors, and they accidentally met. It was going really well, so we kind of let them hang out for a little bit, but yeah, we've separated them again now because we don't want to overdo it. Make sure that we're keeping the peace. But they both seemed pretty chill. Rosie was really curious. Aslan was just kind of following her around, sniffing her. But yeah, it's making me stressed, but they don't seem too stressed, so that's good. But we're back to the beginning of the two towers, and I am still on the yoke. But I am getting to the end of the yoke, I think. Hopefully when it's on this longer wire, I might even be able to try it on, or at least kind of see the shape a bit better. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get the movie started. I think I'm ready to split for sleeves. I'm a little bit nervous that I'm doing it too soon because it doesn't feel like it's big enough, but my maths says it is. My maths says the widths are correct. It's just whether the depth is, but I think it's fine. And when I've done this before, I always think it's not right, and then it's loads more. I think it's just bunched up on the needles. Look, that's plenty deep enough. Plus, I'm casting on stitches under the arms. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We are 2.5 hours into the second movie. I have accepted, obviously, I'm not going to finish this in a day. I am interested to see how much I can get done. And I think I will finish this weekend. I do think that itself is possible. So I'm excited about that. And look at the colour. I'm obsessed. I love this. I'm going to wear it so much. The yarn, by the way, I don't think I spoke about, but it was what I wanted to get. It's Rowan felted tweed, but the Aran weight. It comes in 50-gram balls, and it's 50% wool, 25% alpaca, and 25% viscose. So for a jumper, I'm going to wear a lot as like a throw-on around the house jumper. I think it's going to be fairly hardy. Also, because of the alpaca content, I do want to err on the cautious side, size-wise, because that's going to grow a bit and drape. The wool and the viscose should stop it from doing that too much, but I think it will still a little bit. But it's super soft, and I love the tweediness. I can't wait. I'm hoping today, I'm going to split for sleeves now, do a bit of the body, and then do the sleeves. Maybe I'll do the collar, because then I can see how long I want to do the sleeves for. Yeah, that might be the move. Aslan's trying to get upstairs. I gotta stop him. I'm on a sleeve. I am gonna undo the collar. I'm sad because I think I should have just used a smaller needle size. I went down a full needle size for what I'm using for the body, and it's just it's too loose. And I was kind of thinking that while I was knitting it, but it sticks right up, and I don't think in a way that it's gonna block out. So I need to use a much smaller needle size. I think I might even go down another full millimeter, and then maybe pick up less stitches is the other thing. But I'm gonna work on the sleeve and see where we get to for the end of Lord of the Rings, and then the rest of the jumper is for another day. Oh, I'm going to place a stitch marker where I am now, and we can see how much we do in the last hour as well. Okay, we are still technically watching, but it's just the credits. The credits are like 20 minutes on each of these, and I have been skipping them, so I've kind of made up 40 minutes to an hour, and this is where we are at. Ooh, but I am doing the sleeve decreases at a roughly, like, a fairly rapid rate. I feel like maybe just over halfway. This is where I started less than an hour ago, probably about 50 minutes ago. So I might keep knitting this evening. It's only just gone 8, and finish off this sleeve and maybe undo this. I'm so annoyed because normally I'm fine with necklines, but I knew as I was knitting it that it was looking too loose. I don't mind like the length of it, because even though I've picked up the collar, so we'll have a bit more structural integrity, it's probably still going to stretch out a bit, so actually that probably is about the right length, but on much smaller needles and less stitches for sure. I'm excited for how it's turning out, and I can't wait to wear it. Well, it's going to be so warm, and we're going into spring. Well, it is spring now and summer, so I will show you how I get on and try and measure how long the rest of this sweater takes me, but I'm not normally very good at that. I think this is about probably 10 hours if we account for eating and skipping the credits and other things. Maybe 11 hours, 10 to 11 hours of knitting. You could argue I'm halfway, given that I have to unravel this, and that maybe 20 hours is a realistic time frame for knitting an Aran weight sweater, which now I know that. It is finished. I did a terrible job, I apologise, for documenting the last portion of making this sweater. The rest of the body of the sweater knit up very quickly over the next sort of day or two. I think I finished it on the Sunday. The Friday was when I was filming and watching Lord of the Rings. Then I wore it a little bit, I sat with it for a little while and decided it was too plain, and so I drew up a chart. I am planning on releasing this chart just on its own for anyone who wants to put it on anything. Duplicate stitch, crochet, use it as it probably wouldn't do too well as colour work on its own, just because the complexity and the amount of colours in it, but you could probably do a simplified version and then duplicate stitch the details over the top. But I will link that down below when it's ready. It might not be when this vlog goes live, it might be, we'll see. Once I drew up the chart, I thought it was going to be like a Sunday afternoon activity to duplicate stitch it. I was wrong. It took me the good part of a week doing it a lot. A lot of hours over that week were spent duplicate stitching, but I think it was worth it in the end. I don't know about you. All of the yarn that I used to duplicate stitch is also rowan felted tweed, but it's DK, but I held it double. So it all works really nice and cohesively because it also has the freckles of tweediness in it. And yeah, I really love that yarn. I'm so pleased with the final result of this jumper. It is so much cooler than I expected it to be. I thought this was going to be a basic. It turns out I don't like just basic things. Recently, I've been very into my extra crazy, very sort of toddler-esque style. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok or any of the short form areas, you'll see that I am very much in my toddler granny era at the moment. And I think this jumper is just perfect for that kind of style that I am loving at the moment. It's got rolled hems at the sleeves and the bottom and at the collar, and I'm obsessed with how that looks. I managed to make the ribbing so neat. Hot tip, if you are knitting ribbing, the way I got such neat ribbing is by essentially twisting and then untwisting my purl stitches, so wrapping the yarn the wrong way around and then going into the back of the stitch when resolving it. So the stitch doesn't come out twisted, but you're not using more yarn on your purl stitches than your knit stitches. And then it makes it so neat. It's actually insane. I think in total, the amount of time it took me to knit the jumper was probably just over 20 hours. But the duplicate stitch, I think, took probably about as much time, probably about the same amount of time. So probably looking at about 40 hours of work, if not maybe more for this jumper. One day I will successfully exactly time how long it takes me to do a project, but the ADHD really makes that very difficult. When I'm focused on something, I can't think about anything else. So I hope you're satisfied with the rough calculations that I have, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's taken me a little while to edit this video, and I'm filming this having edited the rest of it. And I want to watch Lord of the Rings again. I want to do this again immediately. It has been about a month and a half since I did it, so that apparently is the amount of time I need between rewatches of Lord of the Rings. It is now summer though, so this is probably going to go in storage for the winter until the sort of autumn because it's getting too warm to wear it, which is devastating. However, I am working on a duplicate stitch for a summer project, and I promise I owe you a knitting podcast, so I will definitely talk about that then. But I've also got my craft room back now. Posy was living in here for a little bit, but she's now moved downstairs, so because the cats are getting along. They have been introduced. There's still times when Posy's got a bit too much energy, so we have to separate her and play with her so she's not sort of annoying Aslan too much. But more or less they're getting on well, and she's going to be able to go out in the sunshine soon. So right, I think I've yapped enough. Thank you so much for watching. If there's any details that you have questions about, do leave them down below. And like I said, this chart will become available soon, so I will put the link to that in the description when it is ready. If you want to keep up to date with me, the best way to do that is on my socials. Instagram is usually where I'm hanging around, but I'm on TikTok as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.